And there was multiple reasons why Zepeda won by decision. But I want to tell you guys today why I got to that point, why I got to Zepeda by decision. And the first thing I saw, the first thing that got me was this final face off. This was actually the last thing I needed to see. And usually this is the last thing I need to see in all my breakdowns. And once I seen this face off, bro, I knew it was over for Roach. Just off of the fact that Zepeda looked noticeably bigger. And if we go back to Lamont Roach's fights, if you guys remember these weigh-ins, like Isaac Cruz, Gervonta Davis, even Hector Garcia and McCory, like he looked way bigger than these opponents. Way bigger. Muscle wise. Even with Hector Garcia being a little bit taller than him, he looked bigger muscle wise than Hector Garcia, looked stronger than Hector Garcia. Wow, he was the underdog for that fight. That's crazy. But 2 fights, 2 draws, bad outcomes. So I knew Lamont Roach was gonna have to come out as well and look definitive. The fights with Isaac Cruz, it just wasn't enough. And Isaac Cruz had some early rounds that he was bagging, just applying pressure and coming in on the inside and duking it out in the pocket. And with Gervonta Davis, in a fight that he won, he felt comfortable being in the pocket. 2 fights in the pocket, and now you're going against someone who loves being in the pocket in William Zepeda. You went against someone like that in Isaac Cruz, but Isaac Cruz has some disadvantages in terms of the feet, in terms of even the matchups and type of fighters he's went against, in terms of his height, just everything about Isaac Cruz. There was a lot of disadvantages that Isaac Cruz has, and I felt like in this fight, there was no disadvantages. It was just who is going to box better. And as we clearly see, Zepeda was the one boxing better. One of the first things I noticed in the first round was the fact that for Lamont to land super heavy punches, he had to set his feet every single time. And it was usually a one and done. He's a counterpuncher, right? So with him having to set his feet, it made it perfect for Zepeda to just get inch closer and closer and closer, especially with his footwork being revolutionized now. Him inching closer and closer, and as soon as that counter comes, Zepeda knows Roach is stuck in the mud. He set his feet, right? And over time, that was going to get worse, right? When you're going to the 7th, 8th, 9th round, and Zepeda still looks like he's in the first, and it looks like Lamont Roach has been through 9 rounds, rightfully so, his feet are going to look way more staggering. And that's why he was getting in this corner here. Because even with Zepeda obviously throwing volume, that was cutting the distance. But even at times where Zepeda wasn't throwing, Zepeda was able to just inch closer and closer. Because like I said, Lamont had to set his feet. He had to set his feet to throw big shots. And even there, look, he gets hit with a shot because he has to set his feet here to throw this hook. And he gets hit with it too. He has to set his feet. And that was first thing I seen. First thing I seen in the first round when the fight did start. And I was like, oh man, I was right. I was like, oh shit, it's going to be a Zepeda decision. Because I knew, man, and with Lamont Roach just looking the way he did in the weigh-ins, I felt like if Lamont Roach wasn't going to get a KO, I don't think he was going to win a decision. And I don't think he was going to get a KO either. I look at Lamont Roach as a great boxer, but I don't look at him as a great finisher. Pause. I don't look at him as a great finisher. And I feel like even if he got Zepeda hurt in there, which he did, he actually landed a beautiful body shot early on in the round. But Zepeda is a fucking dog. And he automatically, his offense is his defense. And he immediately goes on offense and just keeps Lamont Roach on defense. But Lamont Roach also has slight problems with the fact that he was headhunting too much against a Mexican. Let me teach you guys this. 101 on fighting Mexicans. 101. And this is probably like the second to first rule on 101 of fighting Mexicans, all right? Mexicans are fucking tanks. Mexicans are not going down to one punch. You have to land combos. But you can't headhunt. William Zepeda came out with new footwork and beautiful new head movement. Everything was so minimal in footwork and in head movement. Lamont Roach had to go to the body. Against a Mexican, you have to go to the body because the body don't fucking hit, or the body don't absorb like the head does, especially from a Mexican. Mexicans have granite chins, but once you start going to the body, they're like everybody else, because everybody else is like everybody else when you start going to the body and you start getting hurt to the body. Lamont Roach wasn't really super heavy focused on the body. He would go downstairs a couple times, but a lot of times you'll see him head hunting at times where he didn't even need to head hunt. And I think that was a major issue for Lamont Roach. I think that was a major issue on why he couldn't even land like super clean shots, and he was like one and done. Just because I feel like he wasn't throwing combos to the body. He was throwing combos to the head, but landing one shot. And like I said, with him setting his feet when he lands that one shot, it was just allowing Zepeda to just get closer and closer. It was things Zepeda was doing in the pocket that was beautiful to see, bro. And just the many things that Zepeda was doing. You know, there was stuff like framing that you just saw him do right there with the lead hand. Like when Roach is in a stance like this, where he's shelled up, William Zepeda's combo, if you guys notice, he's throwing that lead hand out there, right? He's throwing that lead hand out there. He's pushing off to make Lamont Roach off balance. Like, little things like that just frustrates you as a fighter, especially if you aren't landing and if you aren't getting off offensively. It just throws your rhythm off and it throws off your momentum. I wrote notes on the fact that William Zepeda is one of those fighters that is super good at building momentum round by round, building momentum. He is the type of fighter that even if he's losing the fight, he's never going to lose his momentum and his game plan and his fight. We seen that with Shakur. Shakur was winning the fight noticeably, but we never seen William Zepeda get uncomfortable, get frustrated, get nothing like that. Nothing like that. But I'm going to do a full breakdown on this, right? I just wanted to do a quick wrap up, quick recap. We're going to do a whole breakdown, in-depth analysis, just going over certain sequences and slowing the game down more. I really want to see what Zepeda was throwing in hindsight. I want to also see what Roach was doing. So we'll go over that frame by frame. That will be my next video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please sub. I love y'all, bro. Peace.